mi gente, seguimos aquí con la buena sintonía de 96.9 FM, su emisora favorita. Como todos los lunes y miércoles, Carmelo y el pueblo aquí trayéndole la mejor información y también con nuestra visita siempre de honor que tenemos con nosotros todos los lunes y miércoles con 96.9 FM, Carmelo y el pueblo. Y hoy tengo el gran placer de tener una vez más a mi gran amigo, el era senador aquí, el más conocido entre los republicanos, mi gran amigo Joe Markley. Y también hoy tengo un candidato para la alcaldía de Waterbury, está corriendo para alcalde, nuestro gran amigo también Ray Works. Y estaremos hoy hablando, trayendo dos conversaciones, una acerca del estado y la información de lo que está pasando en el estado. Y también estaremos hablando también con el candidato para la alcaldía de Waterbury. So it's always a great honor to have my good friend, well-known Republican here in the state of Connecticut, former Senator Joe Markley. But we also, like I told our audience, we're going to have two conversations. We're going to split up a little bit because I also have the great honor to have a 96.9 FM candidate to be the mayor of Waterbury in November. So... and nuestro amigo Ray Works. So we're going to start a little bit with the state and then we go into the city of Waterbury.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Señor Joe, siempre que usted viene, pues siempre tenemos buenas conversaciones.
Sí, verdad.
Y nos gozamos. La última vez nos quedamos acerca de las nuevas leyes que iban a llegar. Y sabemos que en octubre 1 comenzaron nuevas leyes aquí. Y una de las leyes más controversial, no sé, estuve hace poco el representante Bobby Sánchez y la representante de Santiago. Me quedé un poquito confuso y después vino el senador estatal Bezarbi tratando de arreglar este bochinche, este problema acerca del grocery tax. ¿Qué usted cree acerca de este gran revolú?
Pues este impuesto fue presentado como una cosa de fairness, de justicia.
Sí.
Sí, bueno, al decir que sí hay un impuesto especial sobre los restaurantes. Sí. Entonces debe también ser un impuesto por la comida en un mercado que está preparado a comer. Sí. Right? So you say if you have to pay a tax when you buy a grinder at the sandwich shop, shouldn't you have to pay a tax when you buy a grinder at the supermarket? Siempre en estas situaciones la solución es tener más impuestos. Yo diría, sí, pero tal vez no debemos tener este impuesto sobre grinder en el restaurante. ¿No?
El problema de Connecticut que todo es tax.
Exactly.
Nunca es más dinero para el bolsillo, sino más dinero para la mar o para quien sea, para el Estado, pero no para la gente.
Sí. So they passed a bill to say prepared food. Comidas preparadas en el mercado van a tener este impuesto. When they went to put the tax into effect, the department said, well, that we have to look at all the food that's sold and decide what is ready to eat and what isn't ready to eat. And as often happens, it caused ridiculous interpretations of the law. So you'd say if you go in and buy a half a dozen rolls, that's groceries.
Sí.
If you buy one roll, that's a meal. So we'll tax one roll, but we won't tax six.
Ese es el problema. ¿Cómo uno va a saber si se compra 4 pan, 4 rollitos, 4 buns of bread, 4 o 5 no hay problema, te ponen los impuestos, pero si compras 6 o 7 no hay problema. Pero muchos de estos impuestos afectan a los ancianos, porque ellos no van y compran 5, 7, 8, 10, ellos compran para lo que necesitan para la semana.
Exactamente, y esta es una de las cosas que los que apoyaron este impuesto, que eran totalmente Democrats.
Sí, bueno, los demócratas ahí.
Sí. Dicen, pues si tiene el dinero para comprar esta comida preparada, debe poder pagar este impuesto. Pero la cosa es que son los viejos que no quieren. A woman doesn't want to make a whole lasagna anymore if she's living alone.
Exactly.
Va a comprar una troza.
Sí, va a comprar algo pequeño.
And then you say, but I go to the grocery store and you hit me every time with a new tax. So the Democrats that supported it basically said that wasn't our idea, that was done by the department.
And that's where I want to get to, because when I had Representatives Bobby Sanchez and Representative Santiago, they were kind of shocked, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that I believe them there, and I questioned them how a commissioner has the liberty to come out with this information when the representative senator is like, whoa. And I even Lamont had made a statement. I want to ensure that the budget was approved by the lawmaker and enacted in the spirit in which it was passed. So it's like he sounded like, well, wait a minute, this is not what my interpretation. This is not what I spoke about. And then we have the Senator President Martin Looney and Senator Majority Duff. They're all like, oh, wait a minute, this is not exactly what we were saying. So how you've been in the you sat on those in that seat for a long time. Can someone have that much power, a commissioner, to bring something to the public or enact something without the governor or both houses not knowing? Because they both acting like nosotros no sabíamos de esto, yo no sé qué pasó aquí. Pero fue después que los republicanos lo sacaron a la luz. The Republicans came out and all of a sudden they're like, ho, yo no sabía acerca de esto, ¿cómo va a pasar aquí? Entonces, and now I'm having the representatives coming here, but everybody's like, oh, you know what, this is not what we voted for. Can someone have that much power to do something like this? As a commissioner?
It's the way that it works is you pass a law, but the law is not specific about every aspect of how it's going to be implemented.
Okay.
The implementation is through regulations, and the department is the one that is in charge of putting regulations out, which are in accord with what the law specifies. And there's a specific procedure in Connecticut, it's different from state to state, for the regulations to be approved. In this case, I think what happened was legislators passed language without realizing what the impact was really going to be. I think the commissioner did the right thing. In other words, I think the commissioner did an honest job of trying to interpret the law to say, okay, if this is what you say in the law, then this is how the tax system should work. When he came back with this, people said, wait a second, we don't like that. And I have to say, not to question, I trust these legislators to have the best intentions. But I think the fact that people got so mad about it made them all that much more likely to say, that's not what I meant. They certainly didn't mean to get anyone mad. They didn't want to get anyone mad.
Man, I mean, this went, there was fireworks in every city on this.
Yes, there was. And, the Republicans said, listen, we should go back and actually make a change in the law so that we're clear about what we're taxing. And I think it would be better, because what's happened now is to say, okay, the commissioner wrote the regulations as best he could, and we didn't like it, so we're just informally telling him to change them, and he's informally making the changes. But that's not the way to do business. You've got to do it properly. Really, the key is there's no way that you can keep raising taxes without creating pain for people. It's going to come out one way or another.
Y ahí donde yo quiero llegar, senador, porque aquí este artículo fue de Patch, que dice, this interpretation go against the legislator's intent of the new law and against interpretation of the new law of all three of our nonpartisan officers. That was Mr. Looney who said this. ¿Cómo, primeramente, antes de las elecciones, ya se estaba hablando acerca de esto? Se está hablando de grocery tax y yo, sí, no, it was a back and forth, because I spoke a lot about this during the election, and that's how one of the seats would flip here because of for the state senate, because people were really against the marijuana bill and against the tolls and against the grocery tax. But they kept telling us, No, esto no es, it's not going to be the grocery check. Pero después reduce a salir, que sale un impuesto contra la comida. So, no es algo que están o ciegos o sordos. Se creían que la comunidad eran unos ratos de bobos que no iban a entender. Entonces, para mí se me hace duro de que nosotros votamos para tener representantes, senadores, para que vayan y representen nuestras ciudades, y entonces salga un comisionador y tenga su interpretación de una ley, y el resto de la gente digan, espérate, esto no es lo que yo quise decir, porque la mayoría de muchos de los representantes estatales y senadores son abogados. Yo creo que cuando están proponiendo ciertas leyes o resoluciones, tienen claridad. Creo que los números puede haber un poquito de diferencia, pero no debe ser tanto así. Por eso que yo regreso. Can this be just I'm just going to throw somebody under the bus compared to someone, because like I said, most legislators, there's a lot of attorneys, and for someone to say, well, I think that misinterpret this, I don't know the interpretation on this. Because they create a problem, and it's still a problem, because a lot of people right now, they don't know, okay, so what's going to be taxed, not taxed, now, I go to the grocery store, compraba un pollo asado.
Yeah.
It's probably even worse than having the details actually known by everybody. I think the one thing that I think people were most upset about is that a bunch of people said, well, geez, if no one raised the alarm, how would we even know?
That's where I want to get there, because si los republicanos no hubieran salido a hablar, a lo mejor se hubiera quedado así.
Sí, verdad. Una cosa de decir es, era un éxito para el pueblo.
Sí.
Porque al fin vencimos. No, we got our way in the end. We got rid of the tax. So it shows that it's possible, when the people are sufficiently upset and they make their voices heard, that things will change. But it shouldn't have to happen that way.
Es increíble la locura de algo tan grande así. También quiero hablar acerca también, hace poco tuve aquí el senador estatal Genaro Becerra, y vino muy enojado porque estaba hablando que en los presupuestos que propusieron los demócratas hay corte para los ancianos, y esta es una área donde Estrella ahora trabaja en la parte secular, donde muchos de los convalescent homes le están cortando los presupuestos, el cual puede ver muchos de los convalescent homes, estaba chequeando en las redes, alrededor creo que hay como de 9 que están considerando recortar o trancar. Si estos lugares trancan, ¿a dónde van a quedar estos ancianos?
Yeah, this is a very complicated issue. And the system that we have for the reimbursement of nursing homes, how we pay them, is really messed up. And it's a case where it's a system that was never thought through. It's just been changed, but not without really going back and examining how we're doing it. So you would think with a nursing home that the state would say, if you stay a day in the nursing home, we pay so many dollars and that's it. It's not done that way. It's done the other way around. They go to the nursing home and say, what are your expenses? And based on the expenses, they reimburse the nursing home. So it's an artificial method. The state has been trying for years, and I've been involved in this effort, to move people out of nursing homes into their homes with home care. And now I'm working for Companions and Homemakers, a company that provides this kind of care at home. This is a good thing. It's a wonderful thing for a lot of people, but in the end, there's people that need nursing home care, and you need to have nursing homes. The problem is, as the population of the nursing homes decreases, how do the nursing homes stay in business? They have fixed costs. If you have a big building and then you have fewer and fewer people in it, you're paying the mortgage, you're paying the heat, you're paying all these costs. So what happened specifically in this case was a change in the reimbursement system that put a certain number of nursing homes at threat of closure. And the Republicans have jumped on it as an issue to say the Democrats and the governor were not watching out for seniors. Again, I don't think anybody was trying to put seniors out on the street. Certainly not the governor and these legislators. It is a question about how you pay and whether you believe in the end that we need to have a healthy nursing home system. Even though I'm a advocate of home care, I created the first home care program in the state many years ago. I worked for a home care agency. I very much believe that we need to keep these nursing homes going. I think the best thing for us to do would be to go back to the drawing board and say, let's get in a room and come up with a system for nursing home payments that makes sense, so everybody knows what they're going to get and everybody knows what their costs are. In the meantime, I think it's dangerous for us to let nursing homes close. And that's what the Republicans jumped on and said, we should go back in and change this law so these nursing homes don't close. Gennaro is up on it. He's a smart young man, and I think he's on the right side on it. And in both cases, two things. This tax, grocery tax we were talking about, and the nursing homes. In both cases, the fact that the legislation is done in a rushed manner. Okay, a las últimas horas de la sesión de la entonces pasan 20, 30, 40 bills, ¿cómo se dice? Propuestas a la vez. Y pocos entienden lo que están en estos. Y tenemos que hacer un proceso para que tantos los representantes como la gente puede entender lo que está
aconteciendo.
Sí, exactamente. We've gotten into very bad practice in the legislature, and if your practice is bad, your result is going to be bad.
Me quedé sorprendido de que el senador Gennaro nos dijo que a veces por ser la minoría en el partido, te da la información a la última hora, te tiran ahí todas estas propuestas para votar, el cual si la hubieran dado anteriormente, tenían más tiempo. Me quedo sorprendido que la política se mete tanto en medio donde lo que sufren son la gente, porque yo creo, como cualquier buen negocio te quiere sentar y leer el documento para hacer una decisión correcta, sea a favor o en contra. Pero él me decía que a veces porque el partido es la minoría, a la última hora le tiran los documentos y pretty much la gente lo que están haciendo es votando ahí a los ciegos, creyendo que está bueno, o porque un lobbyist o otra persona te indicó que era bueno. Pero qué triste que la práctica eso, porque al final del día lo que sufren son siempre los niños y los ancianos. Yo le decía al senador Becerro de que le cortan los ancianos, pero una persona puede ir a la prisión, le dan comida, y no quiere decir que no le den comida. Le dan comida, le dan buenos tratamientos de médico, le pagan para la universidad, el colegio, porque tú puedes salir, y a veces son gente que no van a salir por 25, 30 o 40 años. Se les paga buena educación, se les dan buen tratamiento, pero a la gente que están en la calle o el ciudadano que está tratando de progresar, no quieren darles a las ayudas adecuadas, no le quieren dar las ayudas para a veces para el colegio, a los ancianos le quieren quitar las ayudas. ¿Cuáles son la gente que ya abrieron el camino? Yo quería traerle a nuestra audiencia 96.9 FM. Tengo aquí el placer de tener nuestro ex senador estatal, Joe Marley. También tengo un candidato para la alcaldía de Waterbury, que ya mismo estaremos hablando. Pero por eso estoy trayendo estos puntos, porque yo sé que el señor Joe Marley por muchos años trabajó como senador. Él entiende esta área y yo quiero entender cómo a veces estas cosas pasan en el estado donde el que termina cobrando los platos rotos son la gente.
A part of the problem, Carmelo, is that things are negotiated by small parties.
Sí.
And that's inevitable. It's not even a bad thing. You can't have 100 people in a room.
Sí.
Once there's a deal, the pressure is to vote right away. Because if they say, okay, we've come up with if you and I made a deal, fine. But if you have to go back and talk to your wife, and I have to go back and talk to my girlfriend, and the more people you talk to, the more people are going to say, I don't like this and I don't like that. So they make a deal and they say, okay, here's the deal. Let's vote right now. And people really do have to decide, do I just go along because my leaders are telling me that it's good? Or do I say, I don't understand this and I'm going to vote no? And maybe it's a good thing if I understood it. The trouble is, if they gave everyone time to look at the deal, it would get picked apart. Now, my feeling is that's what has to happen. You have to give them time and let them pick. If they had time to look at this budget, people would have understood what was wrong with the grocery tax. They would have understood the problem with the nursing homes. But the pressure was, usually the deal, I'm not kidding when I say, if the deal is made at 7 o'clock, you're voting on it at 10 o'clock. It's that quick. We had one about 6 years ago, a big education bill. And I said, where's the bill? Where's the bill? Oh, it's coming. Day before the end of session, I said, well, I guess there's not going to be a bill. Oh, no, it's coming. Shows up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Dios mío.
600 de páginas.
600 páginas para decidirse.
Todavía caliente de la máquina de copia, ¿no?
De copia, sí.
Y nos dijeron, tienen 30 minutos.
30 minutos para leer 600 páginas.
Entonces vamos a votar. And I said, we'll explain it to you. I said, you don't have to explain it to me. I'm voting no. If you give me half an hour for a 600-page bill, there's no way I can vote for it. And I think legislators have to start saying that. Legislators have to say, if you don't give me time, I can't support it.
Tristemente, creo que también en la área de su trabajo también, ¿cómo va a afectar esto el aumento de ingresos? October 1st was the first increase on the new wage increase.
Yes.
Aquí tuvimos una gran cantidad de negocios pequeños que estuvieron llamando cuando estuvo el señor Genaro, porque negociantes, especialmente aquí en la ciudad de North que tenemos el barrio latino, negocios pequeños de madres y padres. Primeramente, si tú tienes un negocio con tu hermano o tu familia, ya te ponen un impuesto. También subieron los impuestos para las personas de 10 a $11. Muchos de los negocios me dicen, Carmelo, yo no sé qué voy a hacer porque tengo 3 o 4 empleados, me están imponiendo esto, las licencias subieron, ahora si tengo un partner, me cobran a otro nivel. ¿Hasta cuándo? Cuando los negociantes me dicen, yo soy el último que cobro para mí, yo tengo que hacer mi payroll, pago todo eso, entonces si sobra algo es para mí. Small businesses are getting aggravated with the demands, the mandates, and they're telling me, I'm the last ones to get paid, but now I got people, they keep increasing, y no solamente ahora, yo me tengo que preparar para la próxima y para el próximo y próximo. Right. So, mucha gente me dice, Carmelo, no sé si mantener el negocio, cortar las horas o cortar a la gente. And I've been telling these representatives, I said, don't you guys sit down and talk to the people?
Well, it's one of the reasons we've got Ray Work here that's running for mayor, who is a successful businessman. And we need small businessmen to get into government because they understand these pressures. And one thing that people have to understand is, in the end, government doesn't set wages or prices. It's the market that sets wages. If you can afford to pay somebody $10.10, great. If you can afford to pay them $15, great. But if you can't afford to pay them $15 and the government says you have to pay them $15, the job is going to disappear. And the other thing that's working against small business and working against the state of Connecticut is it's no particular law. It's the old saying, the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Yeah. It's no particular law, though, that makes the difference. It's the businesses looking out and saying, last year it was this year it's something else, next year it's going to be something else, I give up. And
all the little stuff adds up.
All the little stuff adds up, and it discourages you, and you feel like it's one way. It only gets worse in Connecticut.
And even the ones, because a lot of times they see all this big franchise, and they say, but speaking to an individual, one of the businessmen, he's like, he owns a big, lot of stores and franchise. He's saying, Carmelo, what's happening is they keep cutting from what I have. So at the end of the year, when I want to give back something to the community, I can't. He said, because they don't realize that when they increase the wage, my workers' comp insurance goes up. Now the other mandates you put, it's going up. Something breaks down, it comes out of my pocket. Lawsuits, lawyers, blah 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 blah. He goes, what are they thinking? They're just thinking that that you helping the little guy, killing the little guy that used to be before little, but he was able to grow and bring people into the company. So I just thought that I just wanted to kind of pick in your brain on that, because I know that you're in the private sector now, and a lot of times we have a lot of the people that they deal with the elderlies or child care, that when you increase to them, they don't realize it will increase to the rest of the population too, in the sense that if the child care goes up, the wage goes up, the price of the person of the child care is going to be more, or the person who's doing the maintenance. And a lot of times they say they want to help the people, pero me decían muchos de los los negociantes de negocios pequeños, Carmelo, estos trabajos no son para que te retires. Estos trabajos son para ayudar a los jóvenes que aprendan a trabajar. Es un paso hacia tu vida, pero no es la plataforma para sentarte para atrás a cachete mío a vivir una vida buena, sino es para que te ayude, y de ahí tú te puedes lanzar a tener una preparación de qué es levantarte por la mañana o trabajar un tercer turno. No es para que te diga, voy a estar aquí 25 años, porque él dice, yo soy el negociante y yo no sé si voy a estar aquí 5 o 10 años. And I think that's where a lot of the legislators, and we are hoping that as the state mobilize and with new leaders and in elections coming up in November locally, municipally, and in 2020 state and federally, that people need to understand that necesitamos gente con integridad, gente con el corazón al pueblo, gente que sepan lo que es la comunidad. Hay gente que se levantan todas las mañanas tratando de alcanzar su sueño, pero no podemos castigar a aquellos que te están ayudando a llegar a tu sueño.
Ellos tienen que escuchar y nosotros tenemos que hablar también. Sí. Que todos los que están escuchando ahora deben comunicar con sus representantes. Sí. Y son hombres y mujeres amables, ¿no? O no, sí, o no ganarían la elección, ¿no?
Sí.
Ellos quieren hablar con ustedes y deben hacerlo. Y if you're a small businessman, make sure your state representative knows that you appreciate him, but also that you're struggling with some of the things that they're passing.
Sí. Y mi gente que nos está escuchando aquí a través de 96.9 FM, hablamos de los republicanos como que hablamos de los demócratas. Solamente estamos tratando de desmascarar las áreas que las personas deben de reconocer, porque en ambos lados hay gente buena como hay gente mala, y en ambos lados el político tiene que ser lo que tiene que ser, como dicen ellos, pero nosotros como ciudadanos, el trabajo de nosotros poder entrar y hablar y buscar las informaciones, y cuando algo no está bueno, pues también dejárselo saber. Señor Joe, siempre es un placer tenerte con nosotros. Yo sé que usted se puede quedar todo el tiempo que te quiera, pero yo sé que usted también eso. Quería preguntarle unas preguntas, y lo bueno de Joe Marley, que nos habla español. Siempre que esté bien, la gente me llama. ¿Tú sabes qué? Qué chévere que él habla español, porque a veces hay muchos latinos que tienen miedo de hablar inglés, y usted viene y lo habla con esa amabilidad y ese gozo, y nos gozamos con eso.
Well, it's a pleasure. I love having the conversation in Spanish, and I'm only sorry that I don't feel confident enough. And to some extent, Carmelo, I lose energy. It's hard for me to speak. I can sit and listen. That's easy, right?
And I just want to say you're awesome. I get a lot of compliments. People call me, just letting you know. People are proud that you come in, because we have a lot of people there. They're scared to speak English.
Yeah.
And so seeing someone saying, you know what, el español es un poquito difícil, wow, y él lo habla tan chévere y con la fluidez, y él está para atrás y para adelante contigo.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a great country, and one of the things that the fact that whatever language we speak, we all speak together. That's the most important thing.
Y lo bueno es que usted ama al pueblo y a la gente.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias. Señor Ray Works, candidato para la alcaldía de Waterbury. So, Mr. Work, you running as a candidate for the mayor of Waterbury. Why?
It's the ultimate question. I always get asked that one first.
Yes.
So the short of it is that I love the city of Waterbury, and I think there are a lot of people in the city who would like to see things done a little bit differently. And I'm a guy who's been spending a lot of time, 25 years now in the city, and I know how the city works. I know how things are. I know what's not working, and I know what's working. And I am willing to be that guy that is willing to step up and say, I can be your guy. I can be the next guy.
Y sabemos que Waterbury tiene muchas dificultades. A lot of difficult things in here. I have friends in Waterbury, and I once, my wife's family's from Waterbury, so I get to drive down there once in a while. What are the three main things that you would like to see a difference in Waterbury?
Well, here's the thing. The thing that we've been out talking to folks, and this isn't just for the last few weeks that we've been out, but I get out in the neighborhood a lot. I do a lot of stuff with the nonprofits and the fairs and the community stuff and whatever. And what we've been hearing from folks is that they really are concerned about the crime and the blight within the city. It's quality of life things. You would think that the first thing out of anyone's mouth would be, oh my God, reduce my taxes. But probably if I ask 10 people, one person says, yeah, reduce my taxes, and the other 9 say, fix the guy who's got the abandoned house next door to me because my property values have gone down.
Usted sabe que sí, me he dado mucha cuenta de eso. I have seen a lot of that. Y una de las cosas que yo he visto mucho, one of the things that I see a lot, no sé si es el departamento de sanidad. There's a lot of garbage in the street. Is it because of the lack of employees for the Department of Sanitation? Al final del día la culpa de la gente. At the end of the day is the people's fault that they should be putting their garbage in the garbage. Pero a veces uno pasa. Sometimes you pass, uno ve muchos matres, sofá. You go to certain streets and you see a lot of sofas and just garbage all over the place. Do you think that is some? As I've driven a lot of the time, there's certain neighborhoods you see a lot of garbage. Is it because of the lack of interest from the city of Waterbury's mayor's office, or is it because of lack of employees to pick up those garbage?
Well, I think it's a combination, and I will tell you, I know a bunch of the city employees. I know I hang out with them. Well, as much as you can, whatever, so forth. But I think what we find here is that it's just such an overwhelming problem. We have a lot of transient communities, people in the community, and you can tell right around the 1st of the month and the 15th of the month when people are moving from apartment to apartment, there's a lot of stuff out on the streets, and the street department doesn't know it's there. Now, I know you'd say, obviously, well, geez, they just drive by it and they see it, but it doesn't get into their schedule, so it doesn't ever get taken care of because it's not part of their daily schedules, and we have a lot of landlords who don't even bother paying attention to any of that going on at all, and I'm going to speak to the absentee landlords.
Yes.
I know 3 or 4 folks in the city, the Carabetta people and the Legassis and some of the other folks who take very, very good care of their facilities and their rentals and so forth. But there are an awful lot of us. Listen, we're a big city. We have big city problems.
Sí. Como alcalde, as a mayor, talking about slum landlords and blighted building, ¿qué le gustaría ver para que progrese? As a mayor, what will you do to bring some efforts and correct that?
Well, the city's already started working on trying to find who these people are and so forth, and my whole campaign is about kicking it up a notch. taking things to the next level. And for me, that's about making that a 24/7 job for somebody, and stopping it for the future.
Okay.
That's the real key. We spoke the other day at our mayor's debate, and they said we needed to increase the awareness of parents about what's going on in their schools, and basically being parents for their children. And there was a lot of good discussion about possible ways that we could bring parents into the schools, and we could explain to them and maybe teach parents how to be parents. But for me, it's about teaching the kids now.
Right, correct.
About how to be parents.
But don't you think that's more of an issue of the board education? That's why you hire a superintendent of school to manage the school, to manage the issue with teachers and parents. But as a mayor, I know that you have to manage the whole community. But I don't know, as I don't want to compare Waterbury and Britain, but I know that even though Mayor Stewart is the mayor of the whole city, but at the end of the day, that's why the superintendent schools get paid well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To manage the school and increase the numbers and get the parents, because we do have similar issues here. Absenteeism is an issue, I think, across urban areas where especially from kindergarten to first, second, third grade, where right now we only been just a little bit over a month, and we probably have kids already who probably absent 10 or 15 days, which is ridiculous. But as a mayor, going into making the city better, what is the vision that you see for Waterbury?
My vision for Waterbury is a place where there's enough jobs to employ people in the city of Waterbury. We have a lot of people that commute out of Waterbury, and we have a lot of people in Waterbury who simply don't have jobs because they can't commute out. So a place where there's enough jobs, a place where every kid in the school system can find their place in the school system. See, I believe that if a child finds something that they will like about school, something that will bring them back to school, it's challenging them, finding some sort of an alternative way for them to relate to their teacher or something like that. Those are the kinds of things. And
how you grade your schools in Waterbury?
Well, you know what? I want to be careful when I say I think our schools in Waterbury are about the same as a lot of other schools in big urban cities.
Are the facilities up to par?
Absolutely.
When it comes to their budgets, when it comes to the collaborations with the community.
Well, here's the thing. As far as the facilities go, we have very good school facilities. There are some of the schools that are newer and appear to be better than others, but really what it comes down to in grading your school system is the people that are involved in it.
Okay.
And we have very good people. We just hired a new superintendent, and a couple of my friends on the Board of Education went down and actually interviewed that superintendent, and I think we've got some hope there. Okay. But as the mayor of the city of Waterbury, my plan would be to certainly enable that person, give them my vision, give them the vision of what actually the people within the city want, and then manage that expectation that we need to deliver on that. And so I brought up education only as an example of one of the things we need to do. If we're going to make Waterbury better, we have to start with the people that are growing up now. To try to change some of the mindset that's going on, you got
to change the perception and that
we have to start when they're much younger.
I totally agree. I'm more pro. Yeah. I'm more pro education. My wife is on the board of education in the city of New Britain, and
that's fantastic.
And as chairman of the Latino Coalition, the coalition, prior for me being the president, being the president, we have advocated tons of it. Now, one of the things that Latinos always want to know, and it's hard because I might have to compare it to the city of New Britain. I usually don't like to compare it, but
it's okay.
And there's certain things. One of the things that we appreciate from Mayor Stewart here in the city of New Britain that we were lacking for years. I've been in Brent since 1985. And just less than 10 years, we've seen a lot of improvement within the Latino community. I know as a mayor, she's here to support everyone. But there was a lack of representation among Latinos in every position. I know for a fact that Waterbury is lacking more representation of Latinos within the police and fire department, and it always could improve on city public employees. What will you do to increase those numbers so the police department will have more Latinos and the fire department will have more Latinos, and within your administration have more Latinos, because you have a great percentage of Latinos in Waterbury?
Well, we certainly do have a large percentage of Latinos in Waterbury, and I will tell you right now that I absolutely embrace the Latino community in the city of Waterbury. I know this is cliche, right? I have a lot of friends who are Hispanic in Waterbury, and I mean it. I truly call them friends. And so my goal is to actually get all of the communities represented more. You know.
But this is the part that I want to be clear, and I do with all the politicians.
Yep, absolutely.
Since this is a Spanish station,
hey, talk to me about whatever.
This is a Spanish station, especially very conservative values. The community faith is the one. They're always saying, si usted era el alcalde de Waterbury, ¿cómo usted va a mejorar la policía para tener más latino? If you're the mayor of Waterbury, how are you going to improve the police department of Waterbury to have more Latinos?
Well, it's real simple. We have to recruit.
Okay.
We have to make a concerted effort to recruit.
¿Por qué hasta ahora, why up to now, Waterbury in all these years, would having they have a higher percentage than we do here, they still lacking on all these areas?
You know, I cannot answer that question.
Right.
I do know that there has been a lot of talk about more minority teachers. Mm-hmm. Within the city school system.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we do have
a big conversation.
We still have that problem here in the city of New Brent. But I want to go back to the police, the fire, city employee, because we always feel that those are the areas a lot of time, all major city. Perfect example, it took almost what, 75, 80 years for the city of New Brent to have their first Latino chief, fire chief. It's hard to believe, but thanks to the collaboration of the mayor, we did. We have the first Latina as deputy chief of the police department in the state of Connecticut. No one ever has it. But we're talking about why it took so long, and I'm not, and thank God for the administration that we have here, that we have seen such an increase. But my concern is always, what about all these other urban towns? Why is it that our representation as you're going to be a mayor, I know that you're going to be, you are gathering the votes of everyone, but everyone is always going to ask for a little bit of that area because of what goes on. Como alcalde de Waterbury, ¿cómo te va a alcanzar la Latina as a mayor that want to reach to be the mayor of Waterbury, which has a high population of Latino? How are you going to engage with them, and how are you going to be able to open the doors for them?
Well, certainly there is no doubt that my administration's office door would always be open, mm-hmm. and in fact, I would. But
will you put it in your administration? Latinos is I think who's the mayor there?
Mayor O'Leary.
Mayor O'Leary. I believe he had his chief of staff prior or local. He's a Latino. Will you have Latino if you become the mayor? Will you have a Latino in your office so when someone comes in and wants to talk to the mayor, and they say, you know what, yo no hablo inglés, but you have will you have someone at City Hall, employees at City Hall that would engage to the Latino community?
Absolutely. Okay. There's no reason why I wouldn't. The most important thing I could do as mayor is to make sure that everybody in the city is represented, and I can't do that if we don't have people within the administration that understand all of those communities.
No, and
I get that. I understand. I know exactly what you're talking about, Carmela. Mm-hmm. You know what? It's a mindset. It's mm-hmm. a change. and that doesn't come easy sometimes. I do know that that Jerry Reyes was with the mayor's office for a while, and we do have Monroe Webster, who's one of the mayor's aides, down there as well, and I would expand that for sure.
No, that's,
I have no doubt in my mind that
no, está bueno.
Yeah.
Son buenas noticias. Those are good news. What will you do also, how you would network or build collaboration to increase more small business among Latino community?
Well, for me, it's not just, again, I have to say, it's not just the Latino community.
No. I know.
Encourage,
like I said, I know.
Small businesses across every sector.
Right.
And the way we need to do that is we need to figure out what kinds of businesses people want to do.
What kind of business you would like to see within Waterbury?
Well, I would like to be able to see service bureaus kind of industry, or organizations come in, people that do things for other people, outside accounting, outside
because when I'm talking about business, I'm not talking about bodegas. We don't need no more bodegas nowhere. We don't mean bodegas. I mean,
I'm talking about the kinds of things that somebody's going to hire 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 people. Those are the kinds of jobs that we need in the city of Waterbury, and that's going to allow so many of our citizens to have jobs and be able to work flexible hours and so forth, that will change our city. There's no doubt about that.
How's your relationship with the community of faith? Waterbury has tons of churches, and a lot of them. I mean, I was very proud that when I went to Waterbury and asked their support to go against the marijuana bill, over 30 pastors came. And they hit on the Black and Puerto Rican caucus. And that's how pretty much the representative of Waterbury that was in favor decided to turn around. Wait a minute, all these pastors upset. I can't vote in favor. I'm going to vote against it. How will be your relationship with the community of faith in Waterbury, where many of these churches are the one that is supplying the need to the poor by giving breakfast, by giving food, assisting the hospitals, doing the work that a lot of times that municipals don't have the funds?
Well, there's no doubt, again, that my door would be open, and in fact, we would be reaching out to bring the pastors together, the priests together, the ministers together, the imams together.
Correct.
On a regular basis, into the mayor's office, or into we have our veterans hall and so forth, and reach out to them and ask them for what's going on in their communities. What's one of the most important things that I could tell anybody, and the reason why I am where I am today, is along the way when I first came to Waterbury, I had some people tell me, Ray, if you want things to change, you got to get involved. Right?
Exactly.
So I tell people all the time when they say to me, well, I don't know what's going on. This is going bad, or that's going bad, and whatever. And I say, you know what? We can't fix it until somebody speaks up and says something about it. And so my plan would be to reach out to these people and say, listen, here's your forum. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it together. Let's bring everybody together in one room. Or listen, if you can't make it this time, let's schedule some time so that everybody can get in, so we get that idea. And let's get together with the businessmen of the community as well. Not just let's have a big luncheon and talk to a bunch of people talking and whatever, but get down to brass tacks and say, what can we do different that we're not doing right now?
No, I totally agree. Yeah. Estamos aquí con Carmelo y el Pueblo a través de 96.9 FM con el candidato para la alcaldía, el señor Ray Works. Está corriendo para alcalde de la ciudad de Waterbury. Sé que la ciudad de Waterbury, la mayoría son del Partido Demócrata y muy poco republicano. I know that the city of Waterbury, the high numbers are against you when it comes to Republicans, more Democrats than Republicans. But that don't make no difference, because New Britain is in the same factor. I think 7-1, 6-1. Y ganó la alcaldesa Erin Stewart. And Erin won here, and she's for election in November. Y no creo que va a haber problema. I don't see a problem there either. ¿qué mensaje usted quiere darle para que la gente vote por usted? What is the message you want to give? Because you need Democrats in order to win in Waterbury. What is the message you want to give to the Democrats why they should vote for rate work?
It's real simple. The only way we're ever going to make something different and change is by allowing some change. Mm-hmm. And the folks that have been controlling the city for the last 20 years have been in control for the last 20 years. And we're where we're at. We are where we're at because of that.
So you believe your team? Why they should vote for teamwork?
They should vote for teamwork because I have different ideas and different methods about how to make Waterbury better. I'm a businessman, so I bring my business savvy to that case.
¿Qué clase de negocio usted tiene? What kind of business you have?
Computer consulting business.
¿Y cuántos años lleva usted en Waterbury? How many years you been in Waterbury?
25 years.
Lleva 25 años, tiene su propio negocio. So usted conoce el dolor del pueblo. So you know the pain of the people as a businessman. Usted entiende la cultura. You understand the culture. Si usted fuera a decir su oponente, ¿cómo su oponente lleva el presupuesto de la ciudad? How's your opponent of the current mayor is doing with the budget of the city of Waterbury?
Well, our mill rate has stayed flat for the last 3 budget cycles.
What is the mill rate in Waterbury?
61 plus or minus, a little bit more than 60.
Mi gente te están llorando y people were crying about New Britain being high there.
Ooh, yeah.
50, they're 60. Ellos no llevan por 11 más.
But Carmelo, listen, let's not go crazy here. You know, 61 is the second worst in the state. Now,
okay.
Well, to our defense, right? We had a big problem 20 years ago, and the state came in and the city of Waterbury had to pony up with some really big loans. Yeah. You know, so if we took out our loans that we have to take care of from, you know, the past history, we didn't just get bailed out like Hartford.
Yeah.
You know, we had to do it on our own, and we're still doing it on our own.
Sí.
Right? But so everybody says to me, well, you know, how are you going to cut taxes? How are you going to cut taxes? Well, you've got to cut taxes. And the bottom line is that it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because we have great people who work for us, and we don't have enough of them. Right. But we can't afford anymore. Exactly. And we have good services, which is why people stay in the city of Waterbury. So we really can't cut services. So we have to look at where our expenses are and figure out where we can tighten our belt a little bit. I've got a couple of ideas about that. I'll send people to my website at workforwaterbury.com, and they can take a look at those. But here's the thing that I think.
But let me ask you a question.
We need to look at our budget from just a little different perspective. We just got through having a surplus this year.
So you believe he's doing a bad job or a good job, the current mayor?
I think he's doing a good job, but I think the job could be done better.
Wow. Yo respeto eso.
I know. I mean, look. What am I going to say? He's held taxes flat for the last 3 years. Now, don't be confused.
But he's running again.
But he's running again. Oh, absolutely.
So if he's running again, if you're saying that he's doing a good job, why not keep him running the show the next 2 more years then?
It's 4 more years.
Oh, 4 more years. Okay,
it's 4 more years.
Yeah.
But
¿Qué usted puede hacer mejor que él? What can you do better than him?
What can I do better than him?
Yeah.
I can figure out a way to find those gaps that we need in order those places where we can cut because I'm willing to go look for them. See, when things are going along good and nobody's complaining and no one showed up to complain about the budget at the budget hearing. Nobody showed up.
That's usually
so. That's a lot of that can either be that people are happy with it or they're complacent.
Or the people are happy with him, or you're right. But it's hard to believe that at 61 with a mill rate they'll be happy. But what I would like to do is I would like to bring you back before the election and we could talk about that. Okay, and
sounds like a plan.
Bring some more people. Mi gente, el tiempo se nos fue. Time goes flying when you're having a good time. Tuve el gran placer de tener Joe Markley. Empezamos la primera media hora. Después tengo el placer de tener aquí el candidato para la alcaldía de Waterbury, se llama RateWorks. Can you tell us your website again, and if people want to volunteer or donate?
Yep, it's workforwaterbury.com. If they want to donate, there's a donate button right on there. In fact, there's a lot of donate buttons on there. We are the folks who could use a few more shekels in our bank account to see if we can't get our message out there. But the other thing is that we do have the same workforwaterbury@gmail.com. If you'd like to go ahead and send emails to us and give us some suggestions, or let us know if you're available to help out. We'd love to have lots of folks helping us on Election Day and before.
Mi gente, esto fue Con Carmelo y el Pueblo. I had the great honor to have here the candidate for the mayor of the city of Waterbury, señor Ray Work. Y seguimos aquí con más información. La semana que viene venimos llenos. Next week, ya para el lineup de este mes, tenemos la alcaldesa Erin Stewart, tenemos representante Roberto Sánchez, tenemos representante Santiago, tenemos Roberto Rodríguez, Departamento de Seguridad Social. Nos estamos preparando para terminar este mes con los fireworks aquí a través de 96.9 FM. Este fue Con Carmelo y el Pueblo. Y como siempre termino, ¿y ahora qué?
Nuestra programación les llega con una aportación de las siguientes firmas: